And a good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Eric Granstrom filling in for Dan Kuntz on another edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for this 24th of July, 2019. Yeah, it's to that point where I'm filling in doing these morning things and my day is all screwed up. My sleep schedule's all screwed up. I have no idea really what day it is. So I'm here, and I'm glad you're here as well on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Coming up this morning, we will talk about small business a little bit later on the program today. We'll be joined by Stacy Luckensmeyer, who is with the Wenatchee Valley College Entrepreneurship Center. She will introduce us to the new head of the Small Business Development Center. His name is Ron Nielsen, and they will both join us on the second half of the program here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll get you your latest local news, and boy, Mother Nature certainly spun some interesting weather for us yesterday with lightning in the morning and kind of bookend lightning storms. Another lightning storm moved through last night. We'll talk more about that with news and if there's any fires resulting from which. I'll have your sports news as they wrapped up the West Coast League All-Star break last night with the actual game as the Apple Sox get ready to start to resume their second half schedule. Tell you where they are as they prepare for that, and much more coming up as well here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for this Wednesday. As we start off every show, we'll do it the same way again today. Why not? Let's go outside and take a look at our Valley View cameras, and what a difference a day makes, eh? Thanks to the folks at Sky-Fi Wireless Network for providing us our Valley View cameras. From the cross cam, we look down upon the Sleepyville of Wenatchee this morning, although rising and shining to mostly clear skies after a red flag warning yesterday that concluded last night at 11 o'clock. The National Weather Service let that expire. We're expecting very windy conditions today. We'll get you more in your forecast coming up in just a moment. But hello and good morning, Wenatchee Valley, and thanks for joining us on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Camera 2 will take us to, this looks like we're up on the plateau. Is this Badger? Rude Canyon, okay. So hello to Rude Canyon. That's R-U-U-D, by the way. And the folks up there are not rude. I have firsthand knowledge of that. So there you go, looking up at the higher elevations here of North Central Washington, and you can see off to the north. Are we looking north here? No, we're looking west, aren't we? No. Megan McPherson behind the controls here this morning says she has no idea. But I'm guessing since the sun rises in the northeast at this time of year and the shadows from those trees are stretching away from the camera, we're going to be looking to the west-southwest at this particular juncture of the day. And you can see the pine trees in the foreground there moving around a little bit with that breeze here this morning. To camera 3 we'll go and find out what we're looking at here this morning. And that's obviously the Columbia River. Where's that camera at, Megan? Oh, Hose Landing. Okay, so we go from Rude to Hose this morning here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And you see a boat on the water this morning. That's awfully early for a boat to be on the water, so that has to be a fishing vessel of some sort looking for the wily Chinook salmon. And that fishery continues. In fact, we got good news about another fishery opening on the Columbia River, possibly. We'll tell you about that here in just a little bit. But good morning to Hose Landing, and looking across at the Douglas County side, just south or north, I guess that would be, of Beebe Bridge as we look across the Columbia River this morning. A little ripple from the winds as well as we continue our look around the Valley View with our Sky-Fi cameras. Camera 4 this morning will go all the way up to Billy Goat and look down upon the, well, in fact, speaking of that fishery, I can mention that now since we're looking at it. That stretch of the Columbia River is known to fisher persons as the Brewster Pool. And word from Dave Graybill, the fish magician, that there will be an opening August 1st, on Thursday, August 1st next week for that Brewster Pool. The official release yet to come out, but he says he expects that from the Department of Fish and Wildlife this morning. But hello, Pateros, Brewster, Bridgeport, all the area there around the Columbia River. As you see in the middle half of the screen where the Methow River comes in and joins up with the Columbia River and the confluence there. And a good morning, and thanks for joining us on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Our Valley View cameras provided by the Sky-Fi Wireless Network provided by Local-Tel. All right, forecast. Windy one today, but the good news is, as we knock on wood, no more lightning in our forecast, at least for a while anyway. It cooled down overnight last night. In fact, our overnight low, let's see, was 63 degrees. Actually, probably going to drop another couple of degrees this morning with that kind of low system that pushed the lightning through yesterday. But sunny and windy today. We're going to see breezy winds up to, guess, maybe 29 miles an hour here today. So if you had an outdoor picnic planned, you might want to bring some heavy rocks for the paper plates. 85 is all for the high today. Tonight we're going to see clear skies, winds continuing 9 to 15 exactly for the National Weather Service. Low tonight down to 59. Tomorrow, back to those warming temperatures with sunny skies, 92 tomorrow. Light winds out of the west expected on Thursday. As we look forward to the weekend, Friday through Sunday, sunny and hot, especially on Friday. 96 for the high on Friday, 88 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday, and this sunny and warm weather will continue all the way into the first part of next week as we wrap up the month of July and head our way towards the month of August as we check the forecast. The official high yesterday, 93 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley, 63 as I mentioned, the overnight low. Normally this time of year we're at about 89 and 63, so we're right in the ballpark there. Record high for today was set in 1994. We had a stretch of really hot weather back in 94. It was 105 degrees on this date in 1994 for the record high, and 53 the record low in 2014, so just 5 years ago. Sunrise this morning was officially at 5:29. The sun will set tonight at 8:45, and we're losing a minute on both ends, so 2 minutes of less daylight per day officially with the sunrise and sunset. Let's look at your forecast, and coming up next on the NCW Live Channel, we mentioned, of course, a lot of fireworks in the skies yesterday, and a lot of those lightning strikes hit the ground. What does that mean as far as fires? We'll tell you about that with news coming up next here on the Morning Wake Up Wenatchee Valley program, and this segment brought to you by Confluence Health, dedicated to providing you with safe, quality health care to everyone in North Central Washington. Back with your latest local news next. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for Wednesday.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurance Services of North Central Washington, where we like to teach our customers how to shop and compare from all the Medicare options. Now, a lot of folks will come in and tell me, Jim, I'm so confused about all these choices. In fact, there's 21 reasons you can join a Medicare plan. But we want to focus on the specific plan that's right for you. So if that's what you need, give us a call at Senior Insurance, 888-2600, or visit one of our 5 locations.
9 minutes past the hour here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, filling in for Dan Kuntz. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCW Live Channel as we check your latest local news here this morning. And it was an interesting day weather-wise yesterday with bookend lightning storms. Thanks to Brandon Lieberg for sharing these images from yesterday's storm in the morning hours. Many of us in the Wenatchee Valley and surrounding areas woke up to thunder, lightning, and some heavy downpours as rain quickly moved through the weather system in the area. Small remote fires had been reported near Lake Wenatchee, also between Monitor and Cashmere near Birch Mountain. The U.S. Forest Service said yesterday afternoon that smoke jumpers had actively responded to 11 reports of smoke in Chelan, Kittitas, and Yakima counties for more than 520 lightning strikes recorded in central Washington. The Forest Service says firefighters will closely monitor public lands near communities as well as in backcountry and wilderness areas, as some fires from lightning strikes may not become visible for several days. There's a good map to show you about the lightning activity yesterday. We also had another active storm move through last evening, producing lightning, thunder, rains, and as you can see here, a double rainbow over the Wenatchee Valley. Tucker Wagner capturing that one on one of our PTZ cameras overnight last night in the evening hours. We also had reports, of course, we shared it on our Facebook page about a fire burning north of Moses Lake yesterday afternoon. We also have reports of some other smokes in the area, so we'll be following that up this morning with our news staff in the NCW Life newsroom. Wenatchee police detectives continue their investigation into the circumstances surrounding the shooting in the 600 block of Highland Drive this past Saturday. Detectives were able to complete several more witness interviews and conducted a subsequent search of the residence for additional evidence. Based on the investigation, detectives believe this incident was a homicide-suicide, which left 54-year-old Edgar L. Rodriguez and 41-year-old Mikel Diana Rodriguez both dead. Though through witness interviews, detectives learned that Edgar and Mikel had been separated for the last 2 months. On the day of the shooting, Mikel came to the residence and there was some sort of verbal altercation that turned violent. During the altercation, Edgar armed himself with a .40 caliber Glock handgun and shot his wife at least twice, killing her. Edgar then turned the gun on himself and died of the self-inflicted gunshot wound. No indication of a domestic violence history between the two. Sheriff's deputies were able to catch a burglary suspect near Moses Lake thanks to a homeowner's video surveillance system. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said 19-year-old Samuel Peppinger of Moses Lake faces charges of vehicle prowl, criminal trespass, and burglary. The burglary happened over the weekend in the Upper Basin Homes area. The Sheriff's Office says that after the video was posted on Facebook, it didn't take long for someone to identify the suspect and for an arrest to be made. Well, Grant Road in East Wenatchee is scheduled for asphalt replacement in a couple of months, but preserving the roadway from future damage is a concern of county commissioners. As we get more from Steve Hare.
We spoke with Douglas County Engineer Aaron Simmons, who says about a half-mile stretch of the roadway will be repaved.
It's going to be from Kentucky to Quincy, and it looks like we're going to be moving forward sometime in September. And it should take less than a month to complete the work, so it'll go pretty quickly. But of course, Grant Road is a national highway system route, lots of traffic, so it'll be a bit of a disruption. But hopefully, we can keep at least 2 lanes of traffic open and not disrupt the traveling public too much.
Simmons met Monday with the Douglas County Commissioners to discuss the upcoming project. Commissioners expressed concerns about the wear and tear on Grant Road caused by large garbage hauling trucks traveling to and from Waste Management's landfill east of Pangbourne Airport. Simmons said the primary concern is with the 18-wheelers that transport trash up and down Grant Road from outside the area through East Wenatchee's downtown corridor. He said the current agreement with Waste Management requires the big rigs to use Batterman Road east of Rock Island as the designated garbage hauling route. Commissioners say enforcement of that current agreement is essential to preserving Grant Road, given the $1 million cost of repaving that stretch of roadway. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
Thank you, Steve. We have clear skies and 63 degrees as news continues at 7:14 here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Several homes and properties were vandalized with graffiti this past weekend in Wenatchee. Wenatchee Police Department located several gang-related graffiti in the area of 1st to 3rd Street between Buchanan and Emerson Streets, with at least 17 acts of graffiti being found. Sergeant Brian Miller of the Wenatchee Police Department tells NCW Life the graffiti likely came from one of the Serenos gangs, based on the markings, although there was not a specific target or motive. Miller also advised residents in the area how they can be better equipped to handle potential graffiti tagging.
Well, first and foremost, report it. Secondly, is have good lighting outside. Good lighting typically deters this. Oftentimes, the suspects who do this will do it under the cover of darkness. So the more street lights or floodlights or motion lights you have, definitely the better. And if you see these individuals doing that, or you see suspicious behavior in the middle of the night of, groups walking down the alley, give us a call.
Residents are also being advised to cover up the graffiti as soon as possible so rival gangs or members don't tag over the graffiti, causing more problems. If you have any video footage or information about the graffiti, please report it to the Wenatchee Police Department. The $2.7 million renovation of Wenatchee's Kiwanis Methow Park is progressing smoothly, the city's project manager says. Contractor KRCI of East Wenatchee is building stone walls and doing concrete work this week. Project manager Charlotte Mitchell says when completed in October, the park will have several new amenities.
This park is going to have basically something for everybody. It's going to have a soccer field with artificial turf. It will have a plaza with trees and a kiosco and a community garden and a restroom, and the wading pool will remain, and then it will also have some added features on the playground. So, and a half-court basketball area with some skate features, rails for grinding.
Also this morning in our latest local news, Winco Foods is looking at putting one of its discount grocery stores in the former Shopco building on North Wenatchee Avenue. The Boise, Idaho-based company took the first steps towards that by submitting a pre-application meeting request form with the city on Monday. The company wants to meet with the city to discuss building permits it will need for the remodel, as well as landscaping and any other approvals it needs on the 7-acre site. Winco has 107 employee-owned stores in 10 states. It opened a Moses Lake store in 2017. The stores feature low-cost groceries, many of the items coming in bulk. As that's your latest local news at 17 minutes past the hour here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. In for Dan Kuntz, I'm Eric Granstrom. Hey, just a programming note, don't forget to watch our evening newscast with Grant Olson each evening, Monday through Friday at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock here on the NCW News channel. You can follow us on Facebook. You can find us on the web at ncwlife.com, and that's the way you can also contact us. If you have a news tip for us, you can do several ways. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. You can also phone us at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Or just send us a message through our Facebook page, and don't forget to like us while you're there. We'll take a break, come back, and sports news on the way next. Also, we'll have today's obscure holiday, not as fun as yesterday, although funny, possibly. We'll do that coming up on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for a Wednesday. Don't go away.
I told Ms. Nielsen about Simon. He's the best doctor because I like the medicines like he gives me.
He asks more questions, and that's why I feel like he's more interested in the health. For me, it means a lot. That means he really cares about him.
I like you, Simon, and you're my best friend.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station.
9 minutes past the hour on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Clear skies for the most part this morning, 63 degrees, reaching for a high today of 85, so a little cooler than yesterday. Also very windy today with gusts up near 30 miles an hour here as we get you through a Wednesday, and time for sports news here on the NCW Life Channel. The North brought 14 men to the plate in a 9-run second inning and coasted to a 14-1 win over the South. That was the West Coast League All-Star game last night down in Bend, Oregon. Ryan Altenberger, I don't know if they announced a MVP of the game, but Ryan should be it. The Apple Sock was 2 for 4 at the plate with a 3-run home run in the 6th inning. He drove in 4 runs and scored twice. What a all-star game for Ryan Altenberger. Sam Wyatt was efficient in his 1 inning on the mound, allowing no runs, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. Jake Somm went an inning. He allowed a run on 1 hit, no strikeouts or walks for those Wenatchee Apple Sock representatives. Cole McKenzie did not participate because he's still nursing a sore wrist. Wenatchee's back at it in the second half of the season with the first of 3 games in Walla Walla tonight at 6:35. Ryan Long will get the start for the Apple Sox. Walla Walla has not announced its starter for that particular game tonight. Also in league play tonight, as we check the rest of the schedule, Yakima Valley at Kelowna at 6:35. Portland will host Corvallis at 7:05. And in a non-league game, the Redmond Dudes are in Port Angeles to take on the Lefties at 6:35. Let's remind you what's happening as far as the standings in the second half of the West Coast League's North Division. The Apple Sox currently in second place behind Victoria. First half winner Victoria 9-4. Sox a half game back at 8-4. Yakima Valley sitting 2 games back, and Port Angeles 2.5 back. So it's kind of crowded atop the leaderboard in the South. So from here on, basically every series is a playoff series for the Apple Sox, needing to finish either first or second in the North Division standings in the second half to make it to the playoffs. Well, speaking of the Apple Sox, we'll feature the home squad this Saturday here on the NCW Life Channel. Wenatchee hosts Portland Pickles, which will bring you live on the NCW Life Channel Saturday with a pregame at 6:15, first pitch at 6:35. We'll also be back at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium the following Saturday as Wenatchee hosts the Yakima Valley Pippins in town. That's right here on the NCW Life Channel. Rokned Odor hit 2 of Texas's 4 home runs, and the Rangers went on to beat the Mariners last night by a final of 7-2 at T-Mobile Park. Odor hit 1 of 3 Texas home runs off of Seattle starter Tommy Malone. The former Apple Sox lasted just 6 innings, allowed 6 runs on 9 hits with 5 strikeouts. He's now 1-5 on the season. Rubber match of the 3-game set for this afternoon at 12:40. Mike Minor will face Mike Leake. Of course, Leake coming off that near no-hitter, complete game 1 hitter against the Angels last Friday. Also in the American League West last night, as we checked the Les Schwab scoreboard, Ramon Laureano's ground rule double scored Mark Canna in the top of the 11th inning, and Oakland edged Houston 4-3. Mike Trout homered, and Cole Calhoun drove in a couple of runs, and the Angels stopped the Dodgers in the Battle of Los Angeles teams by a final of 5-4. And this final note here, I'm going to read right off my phone as we look at the Fishing Magician's post today, Dave Graybill on Facebook. He says, the official news release should be out this morning. I got word that unless something very weird happens to stall it, the Upper Columbia River will open to salmon fishing at Brewster just in time for the Derby. Release is anticipated to say that fishing will be open August 1st and until further notice. Daily limit will be 6 salmon, 2 of which may be adult hatchery fish. Use of barbless hooks is a voluntary issue. All sockeye and coho must be released, but that's good news for those that put on the Brewster Salmon Derby. Looks like the fishery will be open just in time for the Derby, according to Dave Graybill, the Fishing Magician. That's sports news at 7:23 here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And coming up, we still have special guest in studio in the last half of the program today. We'll introduce you to the guy who is now in charge of the Small Business Development Center. His name is Ron Nielsen. He'll be in here to join us along with Wenatchee Valley College's Entrepreneurship Program Director, if you will, Stacy Luckensmeyer. That is the last half of the program, talking small business and making it happen here in North Central Washington, and maybe some tips on how you can make it happen yourself for small business and entrepreneurs here in North Central Washington. That's the last half of the show. Mike Magnotti with his opinion on the way as well. We'll start things off, though, with the obscure holiday of the day here for this 24th of July. It's National Tell an Old Joke Day. I know Dan Kuntz should really be here for that particular holiday. Dan, if you're around Dan at all, I don't know if he does it so much on this show, but around the hallways here, he's always telling old jokes. But we love him for it. Now, this is different than the National Tell a Joke Day, which is coming up on August 16th. This one is you tell an old joke. Okay, so I don't know, Megan, are you ready for these? Probably not. A string walks into a bar. These are all walk into a bar jokes, by the way. A string walks into a bar, orders a drink. The bartender says, hey, aren't you a string? The string says, afraid not. Get it? Afraid not. Yeah. Okay, a sandwich walks into a bar. Bartender says, sorry, we don't serve food here. No? Okay. I didn't say they were good. I just said they're old. Past, present, and future walk into a bar. It was tense. They make me laugh. A guy walks into a bar and is shocked to see a horse tending bar. The horse finishes preparing an excellent drink, returns to the awestruck patron and demands, hey, buddy, what's the matter? You can't believe that a horse can tend a bar? No, the guy says, I can't believe the ferret sold it. I didn't say they were good. Just tell an old joke day. There you go, your obscure holiday for today. Today in history, July 24th, it was 1847. After 17 months and many miles of travel, Brigham Young leads 148 Mormon pioneers into Utah Valley, the Great Salt Lake. Gazing over the parched earth and remote location, Young declared, "This is the place." The Mormons know this as Pioneer Day, so happy Pioneer Day to our Mormon friends on this date in 1847. It was on this date in 1911. Man, there's one of those, you have a bucket list? Machu Picchu, is that on your bucket list? Archaeologist Hiram Bingham got his first look at Machu Picchu. Bingham spread the word about his discovery in his best-selling book, and after that, hordes of people decided to flock there. In fact, they say that 300,000 people go to Machu Picchu on a yearly basis. Impressive 5-mile trail, 3,000 stone steps to make up the different levels of Machu Picchu, discovered on this date by English explorer, not this, it was American discovery that led to all the tourism that's there on this date in 1911. It was also on this date in 1998 that director Steven Spielberg's World War II epic Saving Private Ryan was released to theaters. The film, which starred Tom Hanks and Matt Damon, was praised for its authentic portrayal of war and was nominated for 11 Academy Awards. It won 7 of those awards. By the way, it was released on this date in 1998 to 2,463 theaters, grossed $30.5 million its opening weekend. Yeah, by far number 1, Saving Private Ryan, released on this date in 1998. Celebrating birthdays today, Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, having a birthday. Happy birthday. The singer-actress is 49 today. Also, Barry Bonds is having a birthday. He played 22 seasons in the major leagues. Played, of course, for the Pirates for 15 years. Finished his career in San Francisco. The embattled one because of steroids. He still, numbers-wise, holds the records, including single-season home run record, career home run record, but all with that asterisk, not officially, but to baseball fans because of steroids. Barry Bonds, 54 today. We have local celebrity birthdays as well. Happy birthday to John Lippert. John has a band called the Pre-Funk. You've probably heard of them. They're good. If you haven't heard them, go out and see them. John lives in Kashmir. They'll play at Club Crow once in a while, one of our sponsors here on the NCW Life channel. Happy birthday, John Lippert. He's 51 today. Also, happy birthday to Monica Roberts. If you've had any colonoscopy done, you may have seen Monica. She works at Confluence. She is celebrating her birthday today. We won't say how old you are, Monica. That's okay. Also, Tom Cashman, former newsman at KPQ Radio, one of the guys who has the sneakiest, driest humor in the history of dry humor. Tom Cashman, very smart and very trivia-laden guy. Tom Cashman, happy 55th birthday today. Again, if you have a birthday that you know of or an anniversary you'd like to share with the rest of our viewing audience, you can do so by letting us know about it. So you can reach out to us via Facebook, as we had the other day. You can email us directly, news@KPQ, or news at KPQ. Yeah, still thinking of Tom Cashman. news@ncwlife.com. Well, you can send it to KPQ too. They might read it on the radio there. news@ncwlife.com, or you can call us too at 888-NCWL. That's our rundown of this day as it matters to some folks, July 24th, 2019. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Mike Magnotti with his opinion. Everybody's entitled to it. It's on the way next. And our visit with our guest this morning, Stacy Luckensmeyer and Ron Nielsen, talking about small business. It's all coming up here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for joining us.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I-dos to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Corey here from Rose Tractor, your local Cub Cadet dealer. We've got the all-new Cub Cadet Ultima zero-turn mowers in stock, and they are awesome. The Ultima is like no other zero-turn you've seen. With a box tube frame and available Kawasaki engine, it has unmatched strength and performance, cutting up to 50% faster than lawn tractors. You have to see the Cub Cadet Ultima to believe it. Come on down and experience the Cub Cadet Ultima today.
SkillSource specializes in assessing and guiding youth, adults, and laid-off workers who want to improve their skills. Here you can attend in-depth workshops to assess skills and interests, make career plans, and learn computer basics.
Learning centers provide eligible youth and adults individualized computer-assisted basic education. Vocational training is arranged with approved providers like community colleges or on the job with businesses.
Don't wait any longer. Let's get working on the future you've been dreaming about.
Here at the YWCA Thrift Store, our mission is to make positive change in the community by giving women and families the tools they need to regain economic stability through work experience and education. Featuring generously donated new and gently used furniture, housewares, clothing, and much more, the YWCA Thrift Store has something for the whole family. Shop, volunteer, or donate with us today.
Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, let's say somebody does something good, like help win World War II, but on the other hand, they display racist and white supremacist tendencies. Now, does Winston Churchill come to mind? Or let's say someone else devotes their life to serving the poor of Calcutta, but they're also accused of not supplying adequate pain meds because of her belief that the poor need to suffer like Christ. Now, does Mother Teresa come to mind? Now, let's face it, we're all human, and even the best of us has our dark spots. Sometimes we need to recognize human weakness and realize that none of us totally measures up. But I don't care how great of a comedian or a father you are, if you drug and rape women, you've crossed the line. Does Bill Cosby come to mind? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive. No nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care. Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Break out the shorts and sunglasses. Summer is here. So, moms and dads, what have you planned for the kids this summer? Registration is now open to sign up online using our new RAC app or by calling the club. Our team of professionals have multi-sport camps, swim and tennis lessons, swim team, and much more packed into our summer schedule. I'm Emma, RAC Membership Coordinator, and we've got you covered with our full lineup of family fun. Special summer memberships are on sale now. More details at wrac.org or call 662-3544. The RAC, where we play every day.
It's a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for joining us on this hump day. Once we get to noon, downhill slide towards the weekend is underway. Filling in for Dan Kuntz, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCW Live channel. And joining me in studio right now, we have a couple of folks who are very involved in small business. And specifically, that's the introduction we have to do with Ron Nielsen. And I'll give that to Stacy Luckensmeyer to do that. Now, Stacy's with you're with WADA. I know you're at Wenatchee Valley College.
Yep.
You're with the
I'm
Chamber. But today you're representing the entrepreneurship program at Wenatchee Valley College?
Yes, yep, Wenatchee Valley College Center for Entrepreneurship. It's a very, very long name, and it's a large part of my job. The college, there are a lot of different programs that we have that support business, from taking an idea to developing the business to working with companies that have 1,000 employees and helping them with training. So within that range, there's a lot of other organizations in the area that we get to partner with and work with, and the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, is one of those, and that is where Ron Nielsen comes in. So he has filled Jim Fletcher's shoes. Jim retired in October, and so it's really nice to have Ron here now, and we're still learning about his expertise and all that he can bring to the community, and I'm really excited to have him here with us today so people can learn more.
Ron, first of all, congratulations on the new position, I guess.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself first before we get to talking about what your role is with the Small Business Center.
Sure. Well, I've been married to the love of my life for the last 31 years. We have 4 kids, all adults, and we have 6 grandkids.
So here in the Wenatchee Valley, or did you move here, or where's home and where was home?
We moved here from Lacey.
Okay.
We had lived in Okanagan County 20 years, and 2 of my 4 kids were born up there at Mid-Valley Hospital in Omak. And while I was there, I was the executive director of the Okanagan County Council for Economic Development. We were the ADO, the Associate Development Organization, and concurrently I also ran the Small Business Development Center for Okanagan County as well.
So it's back to North Central Washington for you?
Indeed, yes.
Okay. Business background, kind of give me that a little bit. You mentioned Okanagan, what you did up there. What about Lacey before you take this position with small business and trying to help folks here in North Central Washington?
Sure. I was the center director for the Lacey Olympia office of the Small Business Development Center. We had a small team of 3 of us that worked at that center, but we were in a collaborative partnership with the community college there, South Puget Sound Community College, as well as the Thurston Economic Development Council. So within our shop, we had the Women's Business Center, the SCORE program, Service Corps Retired Executives, and the SBDC and the state PTAC office, Procurement Technical Assistance Office.
Wow, that's a mouthful. So what is all that, and what's its task?
Sure. The SCORE program, the Women's Business Center, and SBDC are all part of the U.S. Small Business Administration's educational arm. So we provide technical support and training to business owners at all stages, whether it's entrepreneurial development and startup, existing businesses, the growth period of businesses, and I also specialize in working with business succession planning as well.
So it's nice to have you here and nice to have that background. Stacy, I think when we think of Wenatchee Valley College, and I guess this program is through Washington State University?
It is.
Correct?
Yes.
But when I think of that, I think of kids going to school. I don't necessarily think of, I guess this is continuing education, or what is the framework that this falls under?
Well, education doesn't stop when you have your certificate or your degree. When you go out into the workforce, there are always different skills, sometimes more specific, sometimes just a more general base that's needed, that it works best with an employer. And so that's originally how the Center for Entrepreneurship work really got started, was trying to make sure that we could assist employers and their employees with training to upskill those folks with the additional applications, anything that they might need afterwards, after we've graduated them and they've gone out into the workforce.
Now, forgive my ignorance, but the Small Business Development Center Did it exist before Ron came along, or are we just getting this going here?
No, it's been here for a long, long time. In fact, it
See, I
used to
messed that
be,
one up.
it's all right. It used to be a partnership with Wenatchee Valley College, but WSU has been a really great fit. And both of the ports that are now in consolidation, the ports have been long-term supporters of the SBDC office as well. So.
Okay. So who do you expect to help? Who do you think is going to be coming through the door, Ron?
Existing business owners, new business startups, people who are looking at succession planning in their business. My specialty, although I'm a good generalist, I've had lots of experience. This is my 19th year of being a business advisor. I really specialize in business finance, so I work a great deal with people who are learning how to read and understand their financial statements and use that as a management tool within their business, as well as doing financial forecasting for planning purposes for growth or other opportunities that a business may have. Oftentimes, for example, in Lacey, a lot of my clients were people who were ready to retire. And so we're looking at a strategy to help them maximize their potential sale of their business and making sure that the business does transition to somebody else and we just don't lose that business in the community.
That's the hardest thing. I've talked to a lot of small business owners here locally that they're back twice, 3 times now because they retired and the person or people that took it over, it started to go down the tubes and they came back in and bailed them back out. Do you see that quite a bit?
That does happen. But if we're doing our job right, we'll be working with not only the owner, but also the person buying it and helping them develop the resources and tools that they need to be successful.
What's the biggest mistake small business owners make? Is there a number one out there? I would imagine probably the first step is talking to other experts to get help and asking for help.
Well, that's difficult. As a former small business owner myself, I've owned and operated 3 businesses myself in Washington State, 2 in Okanagan County. We had the bowling alley movie theater in Cooley Dam. It's hard to ask for help. You get busy, and there's a kind of a prideful roadblock that pops up that prevents me from asking you for help.
Sure.
Once we get past that barrier, you'll find that there's a lot of people in that same boat, and there's a lot of resources available to help you. You know, lots of local mentors, good people who can make referrals and suggestions. Stacy's an excellent resource in our community. So, but as far as a number one, there's a whole list of things that business owners typically make mistakes in. Oftentimes, they may know their product or service very well, but there's another side of management in the fiscal side, the accounting and bookkeeping side that is important, as well as other administrative responsibilities. And oftentimes business owners, when they think of how to allocate their time throughout the day, a lot of time is spent working in the business, but very little time spent working on the business, which is equally important.
Sure. Now this, I think as a small business person that might be watching this right now, they think, I don't have the resources to be able to pay for this. Are we paying for this, or is this free? How does this work?
Ron's fully funded to work and spend his time with folks. Their SCORE volunteers are volunteers. There are a variety of free resources in the area. There are some for fee-based resources too. Those typically are really very affordable, however, and that's on purpose. When you're starting a business, trying to run a business, trying to be successful, there's an awful lot of value that your business success brings back to the region. So we want to make sure that you can access as many support services as possible.
So how is the Small Business Center funded then?
Sure. The SBDCs are funded as part of an act of Congress every year. They fund and allocate the national program, of which then contracts with each state. Typically, higher education is a lead center, and that's true in this state. Washington State University is the lead SBDC for Washington State. WSU provides the funding for my position in part with a partnership with both port districts here. So it really is a collaborative effort. But we provide free, confidential business counseling.
So you've been in Washington a long time, doing business in Washington. How is it today? It's if you listen to the politicians, it's nearly impossible to run a small business here in the state of Washington because of taxes, because of requirements, because of employees and minimum wage and everything else. So where are we?
Well, it's a challenge. It really is a challenge. We're going to be encountering on January 1st one of the biggest jumps in our minimum wage that we've seen. And that's going to substantially impact a number of businesses that are marginally successful right now, especially if they don't have room to grow or raise their prices to offset this additional cost that they're going to have to bear the burden of. So it's a challenge, but it's not something that's insurmountable. It is something that entrepreneurs tackle every day with a passion to make it work and do what it takes to make it work.
We know through GWANA and the programs that are offered through GWANA and some of the promotional, I guess you could say, arm of starting up small businesses here in North Central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley. We see this over and over and over. Why Wenatchee and why North Central Washington, do you think?
There's an independence here. And it could be due to geography, it could be just due to travel distance. There's a fearlessness that exists here too. And the willingness to give it a shot. I would like to say that the support systems we have here are really encouraging, but I find more than anything, a lot of people don't realize all of the support systems that we have here. We have, over 84% of all the businesses in our area have 5 employees or less. So that's a lot of small businesses that, regardless of the business environment in Washington State, they're doing it and they're pulling it off every single day. So it's just kind of in who we are.
And they've been very creative in the process of doing that.
Oh yeah,
in this
absolutely.
day and age.
Yeah. Yep. And, trying to access outside markets as well, the internet, and with the fiber that we have had access to for so many years, that asset has really made a big difference for a lot of different small businesses.
Now, I don't know about your situation coming from Lacey back to North Central Washington, but I know that in the early 2000s I worked in Western Washington, and the drive and the commute killed me. Hated it and wanted to get the heck out of there. Are we seeing people that are tired of the West Side that are coming here and they're like, I'm tired of working for so-and-so, I want to do it myself, and I want to be in a place that I love, and my commute is 7 minutes?
Yes, we're seeing an awful lot of that. A lot of people are actually here working remotely, though they are intrigued. I have a number of conversations every week with folks who are considering something of their own and trying to look at and understand the opportunities here and what resources they can tap into to kind of get started. But that definitely is happening. And the appeal of our area for them, I'm hoping that we can nurture that. You chose this area because it's different from where you came from. So even though there's some amenities there that I'm sure you love and would like to have here, let's retain the aspects of us that you liked instead of just recreating that same environment that many folks have escaped from. Yeah, so I just encourage folks to really get involved, become a part of our community, build your own business here, and let's make our valley exactly what we want it to be.
Now, we're going to give you some stuff to write down. So I'm going to give you that heads up right now. Get a pen, get a paper, get your phone out, record us, just hold it up to the screen. Because we're going to give you contact information on how exactly to contact Ron, how to get through you with Wenatchee Valley College and an entrepreneur program. But before we do that, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about the cool initiative that's been developed. And I know it was a national thing that came here with the 1 million cups.
Right.
Where business owners, a lot of small business owners, bare their souls in front of an audience.
Gently, yes.
And they say, here's what I'm doing wrong, or here's a question I have. That's a cool program. Tell us more about that.
It is. I cannot remember where I first learned about 1 million cups. I think the name, a lot of people say, it doesn't tell me what it does. Yeah. But for me, I understood it instantly, and then maybe it's the coffee lover in me, I'm not sure. Or a lot of time at Cafe Mela, because that is where entrepreneurs meet with one another, ask questions, solve problems, and that's really why it's titled the way that it is. Entrepreneurs build businesses one cup of coffee at a time, sometimes one right after another. And with that program, we run this once a month. In larger urban areas, they run it every single week. And we have two different businesses that are somewhere between barely starting up to 5 years, their first 5 years. And they get to spend 6 minutes and tell us a little bit about what they're trying to accomplish in their business and what some of the challenges are that they're having. And then we spend 20 minutes as an audience with them in Q&A and sharing some of the knowledge base in the audience and trying to help them move their business forward and address those challenges and get past some of the hurdles. 20 minutes is not enough time to solve some of those big issues, but it's the beginning of a conversation. And most importantly, we want those business people to really feel like and understand that they're not alone. You may be in business for yourself, but you are never by yourself. And there's a community of people, even if it's, not folks like us who do this work, but are other business people with experience base. Some retired folks come regularly who have been there, done that, and want to see others be successful. It's a great audience. It's a great program. And the Chamber hosts it for us. So we're right there downtown that first Wednesday of every month. Coffee's on at 7:45, and our first speaker is up at 8 o'clock, and we're out of there at 9. Boom, boom, boom.
Is somebody actually keeping the number of cups of coffee?
Okay, so we started this.
Really?
I was counting the cups of coffee. Yes, yeah. And I had several different strategies for it, from can't count the cups that they're taking, because I'm watching that person on their third cup.
Refill, yeah.
So how many cups are left in the canister and how much does it hold? Unfortunately, I lost track about 3 months ago. Yeah, so we were set for some years to get to a million, but I'm confident it was going to happen.
Okay. All right. I hate hackneyed expressions. You mentioned it just a moment ago, but there should be T-shirts available for the SCORE volunteers and everybody else who helps. Been there, done that. I mean, they should just be blazoned across their chest because they have the knowledge. And when you talk to someone about something they're passionate about, they love to tell their own story.
Yes.
So you start that conversation, and who knows what information you're going to glean from that.
Absolutely.
All right. So the big thing, how do we get a hold of you, Ron?
Sure. You can contact me at Wenatchee Valley, or excuse me, at the. There's history there. So I'll tell you that.
Used to be, yeah.
Yeah, the program used to be through Wenatchee Valley College. In fact, when I started in Okanagan County years ago, it was through, we were Wenatchee Valley College North Campus.
The branch campus, right?
Yeah, so I worked under Dr. Woody On from way back then.
Oh, wow, okay.
But at any rate, you can contact me at 509-888-7252. or email me at ron.nielsen, that's Nielsen, at wspdc.org.
wspdc.org.
Yes.
Okay. Stacy, how do we get a hold of you?
My last name, Luckensmeyer, is pretty long and not so easy to spell. So the easiest way to find me is to go to startupncw.com. This is a website that we've created that we get to highlight all the different resources in the area, not just the Center for Entrepreneurship, and go to the contact page. Shoot me a message through that, and I will get it right away, and we can make a connection. I do want to add, too, you can also find me today at Guada's Entrepreneurial Panel, 11:30, out at the Confluence Technology Center. So they run those a few times a year. They're phenomenal. We get to hear a little bit deeper dive from some entrepreneurs up there, and it would be wonderful to see more community folks there.
The French came up with the word, obviously, but we
Right.
need another one that's easier to say.
I call it e-ship.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
E-ship. I say e-ship all the time.
E-ship.
Yeah.
On the e-ship. Okay.
I'm not singing with you, sorry. My gift to our community is not doing that.
Okay, number to get a hold of Ron, again, Ron Nielsen with the Small Business, I want to get it right, Development Center through Washington State University, but it's the college. 888-7252, that's 888-7252, or ron.nielsen at wspdc.org. Did I get that right?
Close.
SB, oh, business.
Right.
Okay, there we go. You got to mind your P's and Q's or your B's and P's. And then startupncw.com, the web address to find you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
And good luck, and thanks for doing what you do.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you very much, Stacy.
Yep, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Stacy.
Yes,
good to see you
thank you,
again.
too.
All right, it's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll come back and wrap up this Wednesday edition next on the NCW Live channel.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
It's always been a dream of mine to own a home. She had credit, I didn't.
And I was like, you know what, let's just go talk and see what we could do to move forward.
We walked into Guild Mortgage. I didn't think home ownership was possible. Tracy had a plan for us. Small things that we could do to establish credit. Honestly, before you knew it, the next step was go home, build your dreams, live happily ever after.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Wowee! Collins Fashions has all your needs for summer events. Cool tanks and tees, Bermudas, skirts, capris, ankle pants, embellished jeans, pretty sundresses. And ladies, we have amazing special occasion dresses for your weddings and cruises. All washable in many flattering styles and colors. Collins has over 100 different styles of sandals and shoes for your lifestyle. Tommy Bahama for men and women is in stock, and we can special order just for you. Come in soon to your Brighton headquarters where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.